Good evening, everyone. My name is Diva D25 here on YouTube and it's Diva_D on TikTok. This is where most of my videos can be found. This is my first time doing an extended video, meaning like 10 minutes long. It's a lot for me. I always do 1 to 2 minute content on TikTok because I feel the people there are ADHD. They're always scrolling and so am I. Anyway, I don't know if this app is going to be in existence. I know Trump is making it happen, but I'm still going to talk shit about him. So that's not going to change. Anyway, I am on most major platforms with the exception of X, and I think you can figure out why. And just a little bit about myself, I am liberal, okay? I was born and raised in the Boogie Down, Bronx, just in case. And I am Puerto Rican. I am a Gen X. I am an Army veteran. I am a social worker, and I'm an advocate. I'm also a mother and a wife and a daughter. Okay, with that being said, within the month of January, I am supposed to be doing a podcast with 2 other co-hosts in which we're going to focus primarily on Puerto Rican issues as well as politics. And it should be great. We're going to have special guests. One of the guests that's coming is Carmen Venier, who will be talking about her documentary in which, she's talking about the migrations of Puerto Ricans from the island to Hawaii when they were looking for jobs for the sugar plantation. Now, there was somebody else that was supposed to be on this podcast, but we haven't asked them because, when people are crazy, crazy left, they have a tendency to become right. Well, that happened to him during the Bernie and bust days. He was so disenchanted with the Democratic Party that he was like, never again. I'm tired of the Democratic Party. We're not going to have Medicare for all. And all of a sudden, he votes for Trump. I kicked him off of Facebook. But so we're debating if he's going to come on. So time will tell. Anyway, let's discuss Florida politics because unfortunately I live in the state and I know what many of you are going to say. You're like, just leave then. Go back to Mexico. Even though I told you guys I was born and raised in the Bronx. I'm Puerto Rican. Hello. You guys just don't listen. Anyway, I will sadly tell you that I cannot leave because I'm being held hostage by my husband here. It's easy for him to commute from Orlando to Miami, okay, and see his family in Georgia. I can't remember the last time that Florida was governed by a Democrat. It has been a shit show for more than 20 years. Okay. It was like Bush. Then it was Rick Scott, DeSantis. It makes me sick to my stomach. And the Democrats that are serving in the House is currently dwindling. In this election that just passed, we had 35 Democrats serving in the Florida House. Okay. But within the last 3 weeks, 2 of those Democrats have defected and changed their party registration to Republican. Listen, about 2 weeks ago, I held a Christmas party in my house for a Puerto Rican organization. There were movers and shakers there from the Dem Party. Okay. In this party, I had somebody who was a Hillsborough Democrat who serves there in the Democratic Party. And he was quoted by the newspaper about this disappointment of Susan Valdez, a Democrat who changed her party affiliation, right? Now, I know that I was trying to get things off the record, but I wanted to use some of it here to make a TikTok. But he didn't give me nothing. He gave me kaput. He's such a nice guy. He knows her. He knows her very well. And he said that she's very passionate. But I do know that one of the things that kind of pissed her off is that she lost her bid to become the chair of Hillsborough County Democrat Party chair. And she felt like she was being ignored. That's what it is. My opinion was that she was already Republicans to start with, and the Democrats didn't do their due diligence. They didn't do their homework. And then the news broke yesterday that there was another Democrat that changed her party affiliation from Democrat to Republican from Boynton Beach, which happens to be in Bluetown. Trump was quick to jump on this news, and this is what he had to say. He congratulated her, Cassell, for becoming the second state representative from the great state of Florida to switch her party affiliation from Democrat to Republican, once more expanding the GOP supermajority in the state house. I feel like I'm going to get sick every time I think that there's even more Republicans serving in the House. Cassell said that she was a proud Jewish woman and that she has been troubled about the Democratic Party's failure to support Israel and its willingness to tolerate extreme progressive voices that justify or condone acts of terrorism. Sorry, there was a mouthful. I'm constantly troubled by the inability of the current Democratic Party to relate to everyday Floridians. I can no longer remain in a party that does not represent my values. So I have to ask, when did she become a one-issue voter? Because she felt the Democrats did not back Israel. And when we're speaking about values, does she not want equality for all? Does she want women's ability to choose to have a baby or not? Does she want to ban books now? or terminate DEI from corporations? Does she not want AP African American Studies or AP Psychology in high school? Does she no longer want water breaks for construction workers that work in the hot Florida sun or shade for them? Is she going to penalize homeless families that are living in their cars? And remember when DeSantis passed the Don't Say Gay bill, or how he even signed a death penalty in which you only need 8 out of the 4 juries to agree to a death penalty. This is what's happening here. And we don't even have to talk about the anti-immigration bill that cost Florida state millions of dollars in loss of agriculture and construction. These are now your Republican values. This is what you're valuing. You're saying that Democrats no longer have your value, but this is what I hear coming from you. And the Democrats, one of the things that pissed me off is because they just want to put a body there, right? You're a Democrat, we're going to put you in the seat. But it's time for you to start having a lie detector test and do some deep investigations on these future Democrats that's running for office. No more putting somebody in a seat just because we want a body. And to all the Republicans that blame Democrats for the high taxes, the doubling and tripling of the insurance of car and home, high electric and water bills, having hardly any certified teachers because we're losing them to low pay, and villainizing the unions, right? This is all the Republicans' fault. This is why it's happening. Everything that passed has been because of Republican values. We have no power in governorship. We have no power in the Senate. We definitely don't have any power in the House. So I want to give you a reminder again. In the House, there is only 120 seats, which 87 of them are Republican. They are the supermajority. There is only 33 Democrats serving in the House. You remember that number when Florida becomes unlivable due to low wages and huge rent increases. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. You guys have a blessed day.